limping along until we can get this. We're also proposing to replace the county attorney's server. Again, they're underpowered, but the bigger critical issue with the county attorney is they do not have adequate space to store their information. So that is the capital improvement for next year, and also a few miscellaneous PCs. Again, we're trying to cycle out anything that's 6 years or older is really my goal here.
Is your bottom line for 2012 for this building, is it $19,195?
That is for the email server itself. The county attorney server, that's part of their budget, is another $5,800. That was proposed as part of his budget.
Okay. And
then adding a couple of PCs over at the jail. Again, we're trying to cycle out the remaining PCs that were purchased in 2003. So the currently year-old PCs, and we're trying to cycle those out. In 2013, we're looking at replacing the business office server and also the nursing home, their main controller and email server. That server was put in, I believe, in 2004, and again, it's underpowered for what they're doing, but it is stable, so that's why we're pushing it off until 2013. It is doing the job, albeit extremely slowly. And again, a couple of more old PCs, trying to cycle out anything that's 6 years old or older. If you have any questions on specifics, by all means, let me know.
Okay, he's talking about total for 2012, I believe, if I'm correct, it's $26,535.40.
That is correct.
For 2013, it's $33,004.94.
That is correct.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
How did you get to that figure?
Bottom line,
The 26,535 plus what?
$26,535.40. That's for 2012.
Oh, okay.
Did you get a sheet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it's down at the bottom?
The total is at the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
One of the other things that we have discovered is that the antivirus software that is here in the admin building, nobody has ever really taken responsibility for making sure that that is renewed. And so we have that in there. It's going to be a bit of an issue this year because nobody planned for it, but it is renewed in December. It's already been purchased and absolutely has to be purchased. We cannot do without antivirus and anti-spam software.
That's being purchased in this year's budget?
It renews in December. It's already been purchased so that it doesn't lapse.
What are we talking about cost?
$600.
Oh, okay.
But again, this is one of the things in the IT committee we have discovered that nobody really considered. It's obviously been purchased in the past. You have it. But I think it's one of those things that just surprises people when it's due.
Yep.
So we now have that in our plan on an annual basis.
What's CAL?
Client access license. You purchase a server license and then you purchase the right for so many people to use it. In 2014, we're now getting around to the jail. When we did their upgrade a few years ago, we upgraded hardware, but we reused their existing software, again, trying to reduce costs. It would be time for them to upgrade their software to current standards. Again, we're planning on reusing the existing hardware at that point, because the hardware will be still adequate for their needs based on today's projection. Now, if you go to the final page of this section, what I did was I sat down with my team and we discussed ways of using new technology. And one of the newest technologies that has become very affordable in the last couple of years is called virtualization. And in a nutshell, you take one high-powered server hardware box and you can electronically make it operate more than one software server. So to the network, it still looks like you have several servers running, even though they are all on one physical piece of equipment. And what we discovered is that if we can budget just simply an extra $500 in the 2012 calendar year, we can save the county almost $6,000 over a 2-year period. And what that does is it brings the business office server into the 2012 calendar year process.
See how much?
Almost $6,000. And we get the business office server replaced in 2012 rather than 2013. Now, one of the conditions of this happening, and I've spoken with the county attorney, is that he would have to give up physical control of his server. Currently, his server resides in his office. It would be moved into the server cage, which is kept locked and secured and controlled access. But that would have to happen, and I spoke with him, and he agreed that if we can save the county money and save his department money, he is willing to do that. And again, the reason for the increase in the coming year is to buy a server which has far more power than anything we would propose if they were standalone servers. And the savings would be in buying one high-powered server rather than a couple of servers, one for the email and a separate one for the county attorney. So combine that money, add a little extra to get the extra power we need, but reducing the overall cost over a 2-year period.
What happens at the end of the 2 years?
We're still...
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
In effect, that's gone.
It's in effect, we've accomplished what we've set out to do actually ahead of schedule for less money. In 2013, we would still end up doing the Mountain View server, nursing home server. That 6,000 savings, or nearly $6,000 in savings, would be for the equipment in this building only. In the future, we can look at physically connecting all the buildings via fiber optic, and that would open up additional options for combining hardware and services throughout. But again, that's something the IT committee hasn't even addressed. And again, investment in fiber optic cabling between the buildings will, in the long run, save the county money.
We do have piping from the new nursing home to a pole outside here that would have to run from that pole into this building. Otherwise, there's a pipe in the ground that we can push a cable to connect nursing home, new one, with this building.
Okay.
Okay?
Again, if those connections were completed, we could potentially combine other networking services between the various departments, and again, reducing overall costs. And that's something we can look at in future years. So that is my proposal for the capital improvement, if you will.
Okay.
Also, you have with you our proposed contract for the coming year. Summarized by combining the sheriff's contract with the rest of the county contract, we can reduce the overall cost to the county by $9,000 in the actual contract itself. And we are also willing to absorb the cost of replacing PCs throughout the county, which, depending on the number of machines, could add up to a couple of $1,000s in additional savings to the county by combining this contract.
This is, the contract is above what you represented for.
That is correct.
Right?
That is for maintenance and repair of all equipment throughout the county, with the exception of the registry.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, Mr. Batson.
Where is the amount of the contract?
If you look
Am I
on
missing
page-
it, or?
No, it's next to the last page, down at the very bottom. Fees for services. Cybertron's fee for this contract will be $100,000 to be paid in 12 monthly installments.
Because I'm on the delegation, are you trying to hide that sheet from me or what?
No, I get it.
No, I don't
It
think
is
so.
there.
I got this one, that was it.
You didn't get it?
No. I got these two and Robin brought me, thank you.
I apologize, I thought I
Thank you.
gave you a full set.
No wonder you couldn't
It's only
find it.
one more.
Oh, it's only one. Thank you.
I have a question. You said sheriff's department.
Correct.
The dispatch center is nothing?
Dispatch center is part of the sheriff's, and it is,
Also, you just,
and it is
dispatch
included.
center is just sheriff, okay.
Yeah.
Sheriff,
All equipment in the sheriff's department.
any comments on Cybertron doing the sheriff's computer work?
No, we're very receptive to that. The only thing is I haven't done a detailed contract with him to add to this, as far as our, diagram and separateness and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think I would like to see that and then, sit down with Mr. Rich for a while, just to
Okay.
hammer that out.
Okay. What kind of arrangements do we have right now? Cybertron doing Maya's work now?
We made a tentative agreement for, till the end of the year for $4,500 a month.
That's correct.
And we paid November. October hasn't been paid yet, but, he and I are gonna sit down and talk about that, so.
Okay. And, Tom, how are you satisfied with Cybertron's work or proposal? I know we haven't allocated out to all the departments yet as to what it would be for your department, but otherwise, do you have any comments on it?
Well, Commissioner, as Mr. Rich said, I don't have any problem with, as long as the security aspect of the emails, which he's assured me will be accomplished in this unified plan. My concern is for the cost allocation to the county attorney's office, because so much of our budget is now focused on the new program and software that will be implemented. I was not aware that the allocation would be $89.88 towards our department on this new aspect of the server. That part I don't think was reviewed with me. And I don't know as that has a place in the budget if we're going to use the $8,500 that was allocated from last year that we have included in this year. Now, we put in, I think, the IT line item 13.4, which adds another 5 to that, so we would be short on that aspect, but the $8,500 that's allocated to the services that are provided to our office, I think that needs to be adjusted if this plan is going to be implemented, because I don't think we're going to need $8,500 worth of services if this is the type of implementation that we're going to get, because we're basically putting 5 new computers online this year, which we're paying for in this year's budget from the IT of last year, and those are being paid in addition to the contract for the installation of those from this year's budget. So I'm just trying to I guess evaluate how this will all filter out in the end with the amounts proposed.
Okay, in your budget for IT, you got $13,400.
Yep. 8,500 of that, and we haven't been advised by the commission as to what the new allocation. I assume it's the same.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
And what's the remaining?
My preference would be that the county attorney's office be, and I can't speak for the other offices, but that we need that addressed at what we need for IT support. And some of that comes into some of these overages that are being proposed in this new server.
Yeah.
So I just, because I think we have to look at things differently, because we have different needs than other departments. And so do they. I mean, they have the same aspect of it.
Yeah.
So it's hard